For the last 72 days, the nation has watched anxiously as oil has spilled into the Gulf of Mexico. With estimates of up to 60,000 barrels per day, the spill has paralyzed the economy of this region during its normally most prosperous time of the year. In fact, economists estimate that over 7 million businesses will be impacted by the oil spill. Almost 6 million of them will be small businesses with less than 10 employees. For entrepreneurs, this is a catastrophe of an unthinkable size and scale. To compensate these small business owners and provide the local economies with the support they need, BP established the $20 billion Gulf Spill Independent Claims Fund. There is hope that the creation of this escrow account will avoid the situation created by the 1989 Exxon Valdez oil spill in Alaska. That catastrophe took decades of litigation to assess damages. The roughly 32,000 claimants, primarily fishermen, received only about a quarter of the losses filed by each claimant after the Exxon Valdez spill. The hope is that this time, small businesses will be more fairly compensated for their losses. During today's hearing, we will examine how the claims fund will meet the needs of small businesses. To date, 81,701 claims have been opened, from which more than 128.4 million has been disbursed since the fund began operating on June 16th. We need to make sure that small businesses know how quickly they will receive payments and how these payments amounts are being calculated. The committee looks forward to hearing Mr. Feinberg's thoughts on these matters today. This is important to all businesses, but particularly those industries that have been directly affected by the spill and the resulting closure of nearly 40% of the Gulf. The commercial fishing industry, made up of independent shrimpers, crabbers, oyster farmers, and fishermen, accounts for over 200,000 jobs and $5.5 billion in revenue. Not only has the closure of fishing areas limited their ability to operate, but many are finding that the public's confidence in Gulf products has been eroded, creating another obstacle for the local economy. The problems faced by businesses in the fishing industry are matched by those in the tourism sector. Hotels and restaurants rely heavily on tourism, with some of New Orleans restaurants reporting that they rely on non-locals for up to 70% of their business. Alabama, in the midst of what is normally its high season, has already experienced a 50% decline in tourism due to public fear of tar balls on local beaches. In Florida, economists predict a loss of 195,000 jobs and a cost of almost $11 billion if just half of their tourism and leisure income goes away. Unfortunately, it is clear that small firms across the Gulf are in for a tough summer. The claims fund that Mr. Feinberg administers is essential to the ongoing recovery and eventual restoration of the Gulf Coast economy. As we have seen in the past, a little assistance to these businesses will enable them to innovate and begin anew. With oil continuing to flow, however, no one can foresee what the future holds. But what we do know is that these Gulf Coast businesses have overcome similar challenges, like they did after Hurricane Katrina. These entrepreneurs are resilient, and they should not be underestimated. It has been projected that over 40% of businesses fail to recover following a disaster. In many cases, these businesses got under simply because they lack financial resources necessary to restart their enterprises. In the case of the oil spill, however, it is different and much more complicated. It is not just about the money, but making sure that the leak is stopped and the physical damage is mitigated. Then we will need to restore the public's trust in the Gulf as a center for commerce and tourism. I think I can speak for all the committee members here today in saying that we will do whatever it takes to help these small businesses overcome these challenges. Given this, I think it is appropriate that Mr. Feinberg's first appearance before Congress is before this committee, and I want to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to appear before our committee today.